how do we decipher between like our real deep desires and maybe just surface level preferences? And I just have a sense that spirit knows more about us than we do.
Mm-hmm.
It's like we may want a Ferrari, but spirit's saying, you're thinking small with this physical stuff.
Right.
You know, your life purpose is actually deeper than that, and here it is. So how do you think that life circumstances, like on one hand, we do the purposeful work of trying to sort of build what we think we're going after, and on another hand, there's like divine providence, fate, and how do we balance that?
Or how do we align our desires? What is my life all about?
Mm-hmm.
What am I here for? That takes time. We have to realize that we're living in a culture that really has some kind of skewed values about what's important. Our idea of what an abundant life would look like, the Ferrari, for example. The spirit doesn't understand that. Like it would say, how is that important? Because we're going after what's important to us, what has meaning for us. What is it that our soul wants?
Mm-hmm.
Beyond your heart, beyond your head, what does your soul want? What's going to make your soul happy?
And how do you think like the shamanic lifestyle shifts us more into that direction?
Alberto gives an example of a woman who had a couple of children. She had wanted to paint, and she had this spare room, and she said, when I clear this out, I'm going to make this my little studio. But raising a couple of children and taking care of all these things, simply, it wasn't just that she didn't have the time for it, she didn't have the energy. And so she wasn't doing any painting whatsoever. As a shaman, you could take journeys on that. I want to paint. And that's your issue. And then you take a journey, a couple journeys, 5 journeys. Still nothing seems to be moving. And then all of a sudden one day, and this is what happened to her, she started to think, why am I so obsessed with creating this studio? I can paint on my deck. And so she just kept her easel and canvas and paints by the deck, maybe in a closet space or something. And when she had an extra half hour, an hour, she would set everything up and start to paint. And so she was painting. That's what she wanted. And so it was helping her resolve the issue. But it took a shift in her perspective. She's thinking, I'll paint when I clear the room. Then I can paint. Suddenly she starts thinking, why am I thinking this way? See what I'm saying?
Yeah, I can relate to that. I immediately think of myself too. I'm guilty of that, of making a molehill into a mountain.
Right.
Of all of these prerequisites that need to get done before doing something that could easily be done.
We get a house and we say, when it's all fixed up, then I'll start doing this, or I'll start doing this. Like that could be a long time. You're going to be on your deathbed and there's still a list of stuff you can do on the house. That's just the nature of owning a home. So, but that's a nice example of something that shamanism can do for us. Here's my issue, and then just let it do its work. It might do it in a way that you would not have anticipated. Just like the lady painting on her deck. That really wasn't the way she was thinking, but it was helping her change her perception so that she could see, all right, the most important thing for you is painting. We're going to remove this idea that you need to have a studio in order to do that.
Yeah, taking it out of the intellectualizing everything.
Right.
And moving into trust, more of a trust.
Right. With home, for example, we have this set idea about certain spaces in our house that should be set aside for certain things. And why? Even your living room, if you wanted to convert that into something else, great. You're utilizing a space that otherwise you just say, well, when we have company, this is where we're going to sit. Like, who cares? Most people hang out in the kitchen anyway anymore, but you see what I'm saying?